Hello and welcome to tonight's deep relaxation class. Thank you for joining and for taking the time to honor and support your own well-being and taking the time to support each other in this special offering. So as has already been stated in the setup, we've got some yoga props, some yoga blocks, a blanket or cushion or something to sit on, and then a yoga strap, which we'll save for later in the practice. If you don't have some of these things, you can sort of improvise with what you do have in your environment to help and assist you during our practice. We're going to start tonight's class in a comfortable seated position. So whatever that looks like for you might be different than the way I'm sitting now. Find a way to sit comfortably, tall and upright, but let the shoulders relax back and down. Find as much space and length as you can through the torso and turn opening and expanding through the lungs. And just take a few deep breaths as we check in for our practice. Just observe the quality, the length, the sound of your breath without a lot of judgment or analysis. Just take it all in. Breathe through your nose if you can and exhale out your nose or mouth. Your nose is congested, then do what you have to do to adapt. Just observe your breath. Good. Go ahead and bring the hands together to touch right in the center of the chest. Now just let your eye gaze bow down towards your fingertips right there in the center of the chest. And just stay here for 3 more breaths. Over the course of these next few moments, I want you to check in and remind yourself why you showed up to this deep relaxation session. What is it that you could benefit the most from this offering tonight? Remember why you're here and take a few more breaths to honor that. Inhale, open the hands out to the side and circle the hands up and overhead. We're going to do some shoulder mobility movements, and we're also going to center our awareness on our breath. Exhale, hands come back. So inhale, palms stay up like you're holding 2 serving trays or stacks of whatever. And then reach and press those hands up and overhead. Palms touch, fingers together, back down through the midline. That's 3. We're going to go ahead and do that 7 more times. Inhaling up, exhaling. 4, 5. See if we can slow it down a little bit. Inhale, lengthen your in-breath. Keep the shoulders relaxed as you stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, 6. Keep it going, just a few more. Breathe in and up. Exhale, palms touch, finding balance down through the midline center. Again. One last time at your own breath pace. Inhale. Completed that exhalation. Let the hands touch right at the center of the chest. And then bring your fingertips up to the tops of the shoulders. And then go ahead and just start to circle with the elbows. Circle and drop the elbows down. Pull the shoulder blades together on the back of the body. Feel how that lengthens, broadens the chest. And then go ahead and circle the elbows up. And again, you might feel a little pop or crack. If you don't have full range of motion in the shoulders, do what you can. If you have to alternate one side and then the other, know yourself and the accommodations you need as we awaken our vitality with these breath-centered movements. Circle and count your breath. And then with your next exhalation, pause and reverse the direction of those circles. Making that chicken wing shape, keeping connection with the top of the shoulder and fingertips. And good. Relax the hands down. Don't shrug and lean back into the shoulders. Try and stay upright, but you can let the hands rest down right next to your hips to assist you in your seat. All right, we're going to stretch the head and neck. So you're going to go ahead and just look over one shoulder. I'm going to choose my right shoulder first. Then I'm going to look back through center and look over left shoulder. Do this 3 more times on each side. Sitting up tall, lengthening through the torso. You can inhale over to the left and exhale over to the right. One more time. Inhale left. Exhale right. Good. Go ahead and lean forward. This is where if you have a yoga block or a prop, it'll come in. You can bring your hands up to that thing, something to bring the floor up to you, something you can rest your hands on. It could be the back of the chair, or if you're standing or in a seat, it could be the wall. And then go ahead and just reach the hands forward towards that prop. And inhale, sit up tall. Exhale. Keep your sitting bones rooted into the floor behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, try and keep the spine straight as an arrow. Don't force anything, just breathe in and come up very slowly, and then exhale, lengthen from the lower back, from your seat, from your hips. Reach forward. Just 3 more times. Inhale, sit up tall, and then exhale, reach forward with it. Good job. Come all the way back up to your seat. We're going to go ahead and take a gentle twist side to side. When you're ready, inhale over to the left. Reach around behind you with your left hand. Right hand comes over to left knee. Sit up tall and twist. Take a deep breath in. Tilt the chin up slightly. Shoulders relax and are level. Exhale, deepen that twist. Back to center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands touch in front of the chest. Go ahead and switch. This time, inhale over to the right. Exhale, twist from the belly button up. Twist through the rib cage, the chest, head and neck, and the eyes. Stretch the eyes far over that opposite shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. If you want to, you can reach the hands up and overhead. Exhale, let the hands touch in front of the chest. Great job. So before we come up to standing, we're going to continue our warm-ups on our hands and knees next. If that's not accessible to you, we can make some accommodations to still benefit from this practice. So from our hands and knees, or from a seat, if you're not able to make it here, we're going to stack our hands, our wrists right under the shoulders, and our knees are going to stack directly underneath of our hips. I'm going to keep the lower belly drawn up and in. Now, as I inhale, I'm going to drop the belly down. I'm going to tilt the tailbone away, and I'm going to roll the shoulder blades together and lift the chest. Inhale here. Now, and then exhale, scoop the chin in, tuck your tailbone under, and press the floor away for that cat stretch. Inhale, reverse, and repeat. We'll do this about 10 times. And relax the tops of the feet towards the floor, or keep the toes tucked under, whichever feels better for you. Stay with your breath. Keep breathing slow and steady. Elongate the breath. Go ahead and settle back into that hands and knees position. Tuck your toes under, and then go ahead and relax your hips and your glutes back towards the heels. If you need to, you could bring a blanket over tops of the feet. If you have that yoga block, you can even bring that together over the heels to come and sit on. Come down onto your forearms and then relax in child's pose. You can have your knees a little bit wider, maybe as wide as your mat here. You want to open your gate. Feel that connection to the floor beneath you and your breath. Feel that security and stability here in this restful child's pose. If you need to come here to rest at any time during the practice, please feel free. When you're ready, you can press the floor away. We're going to come all the way up to a standing position now. So take your time. Don't come up too fast. If you need to take a break and get a drink of water or make any adjustments at all, please do so now. So go ahead and start standing and just start to shift the weight forward and back into the balls of the feet and the heels. Open the thumbs to face forward or palms turn forward slightly. Just feel a relaxed openness here. Shift the weight side to side and settle in comfortably. And just stand here in Tadasana, the mountain pose. Heart lifted, crown of the head open, eyes relaxed and or closed. Slight bend in the knees. And then inhale, reach the hands up towards the ceiling and beyond, towards the sky. But don't shrug the shoulders up. Keep the shoulders relaxed as you straighten and lengthen the arms. And now as you exhale, bend at the knees. Stay straight and lengthen through the spine and reach forward and down towards the floor. You can reach towards a cushion or a block, bolster. Get a chair to reach towards, that's a great support too. And then just simply inhale, come on back up. Lift through the hips, the heart, the head. And then exhale again, hinge, reach forward, gradually building that stretch in the hamstring and that length through the torso. So at your own pace with your breath, continue inhaling up. Exhaling, hinging at the hips. You can even keep your hands on your hips if you prefer. Tuck the chin in towards the chest and let the head and neck relax here as you reach forward. Lengthening the back of the body. And then inhale, stretch the front of the body long. Press the hips forward. Good. Keep that momentum going. Slow and steady. If the hands want to relax down towards the floor, they can. Just relax the fingertips down to whatever level they're comfortable. Or keep your hands connected at hips or shins. Keep flowing with your breath. When you're ready and you come back to standing, exhale, let the hands touch in front of the center of the chest. Now go ahead and widen your stance. Let your feet come out to about shoulder width. And we're just going to start with some spinal twists. Maintain that length through your torso all the way through the crown of the head. As if there was a string tied to the crown of your head and it was lifting your whole body up. We're going to inhale left and just start. Inhale as many times as you can, tapping with the hands on the side body. And when you're ready to exhale, just count off the exhalation, letting the hands tap like a metronome or the ticking and talking of the second hand in a clock. Just feel that gentle energy, that mobility, side to side. Keep the hips squared and face forward and just find that mobility from the belly button up again. Lifted through the shoulders and elbows and wrists, letting the arms just gently flow side to side. Flowing, falling like leaves in the fall time. Good. Slow the hands down. Bring the hands back towards the hips. And now find some mobility in the lower back and hips. And make some gentle, very small hip circles. Roly-poly through the hips, swinging the hips around, gradually bigger hip circles. Maybe just some medium-sized ones to get started. We'll widen our stance here in a little bit. Find some mobility circling through your hips. And pause and reverse the direction. Good job. Good. Come back to center. Now turn your toes out slightly. Your heels will be faced in. All right. You're going to press the palms out to the side here. Really enunciate with your fingertips pointed up towards the ceiling and your fingers wide. All right. And then we're going to inhale, bend at the knees, palms turned in, and we're going to sink down into a gentle goddess squat. And then we're going to exhale, straighten the legs, and press the palms away. Inhale. Just a little bit of a bend in the legs, sinking down to a goddess squat. Keep that width, all that space across the chest. Exhale and press the palms away and straight. Good. Continue. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that connection to the floor. Inhale a little bit. And exhale. Exhale. Just twice more. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Goddess pose. And exhale. Standing T. Good. Relax the hands down. Shake out the hands and wrists. Inhale. Shrug the shoulders up. Really let it go. Exhale out the mouth. Ha. Good. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale. Shrug the shoulders up. Exhale. Let it go all the way through the thumbs and fingers. Ha. Good. Twice more. Shrug. Inhale. Ha. Good. One more time. Stand tall. Shrug the shoulders up. Put down whatever it is you're carrying with your exhale. Ha. Good. Good, and bring your hands to your hips. We're going to stretch the side body and warm up a little further. Do some lateral movements, reaching over and across. Try and keep the bicep and elbow kind of in line with the shoulder and ear here. If you want to just keep that hand almost even behind your head, you could. Just touch there. Go ahead and step the feet all the way back together. Feel the full length of your side body from the outside edge of your heel all the way up side of the leg and hip, all the way up into the armpit and down the outside edge of the hand. Really feel that stretch. If you want to hold here and really enjoy a few breaths, feel. Come back to standing. Stand normally with your hips right over top of your feet. Shoulders relaxed, thumbs forward, palms turned forward. And again, just observe your mountain pose. Stand here with awareness. Stand here and feel that peace, own heart, the quality of presence and well-being that you nurture with every passing breath. Do this one breath at a time, one step at a time. Exhale, hands touch in front of the chest. We're going to go ahead and come back to our mat. I want you to stand at the top of your mat. We're going to move through a few rounds of sun salutations. So I'm going to start with a little bend in the knees. Inhale, stretch the front of the body long. Exhale, hinge from the hips and reach the hands down towards those yoga blocks or the floor. We're going to step back into a low lunge. You can step back far with your left foot and bring that left knee towards the floor. Shift the hips forward and down. Keep that front knee right over top of the ankle. And if you want to, inhale, lift through the heart, lengthen through the core, reach the hands overhead, and then sink the hips forward and down, and then come back. But keep that knee right over top of the ankle. Exhale, hands frame that front foot. We're going to step up into downward facing dog. So this front foot is going to step back, actually, next to the back foot. And if you imagine downward dog like a pyramid or an equilateral triangle, more or less, the highest point, the peak of that pyramid would be right here up under the belly. So really lift the glutes up. You can come up onto the balls of the toes. You can bend the knees, shift the weight side to side. Explore your down dog. And then when you're ready, drop knees, chest, and chin to the floor. We're going to rise into cobra pose. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together. Barely using the help of the hands. Lift the center of the chest, press the hips down. Keep the elbows in close to the side body and relax your face and shoulders. Stay here in cobra for 3 more breaths. Press the floor away, rise all the way back up, downward facing dog. This time, go ahead and step the left foot up in between the hands. Lower that right knee back to the floor. And reach the hands up and overhead if you can. Want to shift the hips forward and down. Please do, but just make sure that that front knee is stacked over top of the ankle. When you're ready, hands frame the front foot. We're going to step this back foot up next to the other foot. Inhale up halfway, keep the back flat. Exhale, relax the hands towards the floor. And then inhale, come all the way back up to standing with the hands resting in front of the heart. You might notice that your respiratory rate has increased slightly after a round of sun salutations. You feel more balanced equilaterally on both sides. Sun salutations are really a great full body, mind, spirit practice. You can work those into your day. You're doing a good thing for yourself. So we're going to go ahead and move to a standing balancing pose. And then we're going to start to move down into some stretches for our hamstrings and hips. So we're going to just keep it kind of simple for our balancing pose. We're going to practice dancer tonight, but I'm going to offer 2 different varieties. I'm going to offer a version of Nataraj asana, or a dancer pose, where you can reach back with the thumb pointing behind, or if that's too difficult, you can just use your strap or something to hold onto the foot here. Or you can reach back, same side, thumb pointed back. Again, try and keep your knee and hip in alignment here as you reach and balance. You can bring a little bend in one knee, maybe start to find a hinge forward. That is one option. You can also use a wall to help you balance here. I have this wall behind me, and if I needed to, I could use that to help with the foot. You really want to try and focus on that center of gravity space right below your belly button. So that is one option for you to practice dancer in your space. Or you could actually cross one foot in front of the other and kind of find like a kickstand shape. Use the opposite hand to scoop under like you were gathering something, and then bring that opposite hand overhead, creating a dancing Krishna sort of dancing pose. A little variety is the spice of life. In one way or the other, or maybe trying both. Most important things in all balancing poses is steadying your eye gaze to rest softly on something, in turn helping to steady the mind and the breath, and deepening your quality of presence, making the balancing not even something to think about. Sustain a balancing pose more easily with a restful and focused mind. When you're ready to try the other side, go ahead, take your time, recenter yourself, shake it out, pause, recenter in that mountain pose, and then go ahead and practice one or both versions of dancer pose on the other side. Steady your breath, steady your mind, relax your eyes. When you're ready, come back to your tall standing position, both feet underneath of you. Go ahead and circle the hips a couple of times, side to side in each direction, and make any adjustments that you need to. We're going to proceed down to our mats, and we're going to actually start face down. So go ahead and prepare a clear space where you can lie down, if it's accessible and appropriate for you, on your belly. And we're going to practice just a couple of quick back bends to move forward with our practice. So go ahead and bring your, actually let me go ahead and adjust this camera just a little bit. Okay. Hopefully everybody can hear me all right still. We're going to come down onto our yoga mats and the space you provide for yourself. We're going to bring our hands just right underneath of our shoulders, kind of in line with the front of the shoulders there. And I really want you to focus on keeping the elbows not out to the side, but down along the side body. Lengthen through the crown of the head and then walk the feet out behind you. And either press the hands forward until the elbows stack right underneath of the front of the shoulders, or without the help of the hands at all, lengthen and lift through the torso. Again, we're going to hold here in that cobra pose. You can go cobra, no help from the hands, or sphinx pose here with the elbows stacked right underneath the front of the shoulders. You might find sphinx pose is a little bit more restorative while still giving you that nice back bend stretch. You can kind of widen the feet a little bit if you feel any compression in your lower back, and scoop the hips under slightly. There's a very minor engagement in the hips, letting the hips relax but settle into the floor. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and come on back down and just relax. You can turn your cheek to one side or cross your arms and rest your head. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and move into our next back bend pose. So for this one, we're going to practice a half locust pose. So you're going to, again, just really lengthen through the body, stretch on out, lengthen those legs out behind you. And you're going to go ahead and come back down with the arms by your side. You turn the chin to the floor or keep your forehead on the floor. But we're going to lift one leg and or both legs off of the mat. And we're going to hold here, keeping the core engaged, hips pressing down, legs lifted. You can keep the arms out by the side, or you can reach the hands up and overhead. You could take a bind with the hands and draw the hands back together in the lower back. When you're ready, go ahead and release. Go ahead and flip over to lie down on your back. Take a moment when you're resting on your back, feet on the floor, knees kind of bridging the distance between your hips and glutes and your feet, creating this nice slope. Let the knees stack in towards each other. Let the hands just rest on the belly, the chest, or palms turned up, down by your side. If you have that yoga strap or prop nearby, you can go ahead and grab that now. We're going to stay here in this constructive rest position for about another 30 to 45 seconds. And so for this constructive rest to really be most effective at helping to reset the SI joint in the lower back, you're going to want to have your feet a little bit wider than you normally might if you were resting here. You can have your feet about as wide as your mat, or maybe even just a hair outside of the mat. And let the knees stack and collapse in towards each other. And then just turn the heels in, maybe about an inch, and feel that support. All you got to do now is rest. You can actually rest here upwards of 10 or 12 minutes to really get the most benefit and reduction in inflammation in your lower back here. Try and settle the shoulders here too. If your shoulders are crunched up around the ears, it's not going to be comfortable. So go ahead and try and engage the shoulder blades, pull them together, and then relax the shoulders, stretch the arms out. Let it all go through your shoulders and fingertips. We're going to rest here quietly for a few more moments. And when you're ready, go ahead and engage and let the knees come apart. Go ahead and locate that yoga strap and go ahead and hook one foot with that strap. Try and hold that foot right over top of the hip and glute and keep that glute anchored down on the floor here. So if you feel that hip start to lift, go ahead and keep it settled right back in the mat. Sometimes I like to take this kind of traditional basic grip, and I like to actually wrap the strap around my foot one time, just to feel like it gives me a little more control, especially over the flexion of the foot. So if you'd like that, you can give it a try and experiment with your strap or whatever you're using. And then go ahead and just hold and relax here through the hands, shoulders. And see if you can just start to make a clockwise circle with that heel and that foot. And see if you can make it just about the size of a silver dollar, about the size of your palm to start. Circling that heel right over top of the hip. If you want to straighten that opposite leg, you can. If that's too intense, you could keep that foot on the floor. And now all I want you to do is flex that foot, meaning really pull those toes back towards you. Let the weight of your arms hold the leg and strap in place. And now just very gently, just a few degrees, let that foot come across the body, maybe just over the belly button. And feel that stretch all the way through the outside edge of the leg, through the IT band and calf. Might be a little intense. You might have to bend the knee and bring it back out to the side and then reapproach it. Don't force anything. Give that outside edge of the leg a chance. And when you need to counter stretch, you know what to do. All you got to do is bend the knee slightly. Leg is mostly straight, and then reach that leg out to the side. And back over and across just a couple of inches, not past the belly button probably. And then back down and out to the side. Bring the leg back to center. And then go ahead and release the strap and hug that same knee in towards the chest. And then roll it out to the side, making a counterclockwise circle now. We're doing a lot just on this one leg. We're going to balance it out on the other side. I'm going to add just two more exercises or practices on this side, and then we'll switch and we'll even it up on the other side. So I just want to do a few of these joint freeing movements for the knee. This is also really great for the hamstring. I like to just have the hands on the back of the leg here. And if you want to make it a breath-centered awareness practice, you certainly could. I like to inhale here with the bend of the knee and then exhale, straighten the leg. And then when you're ready, just simply cross that shin over the opposite leg, making a figure four shape with the legs. So you've got that, at least in my case, right ankle and shin region crossed over top of the knee. I'm going to go ahead and keep this right foot flexed, again, meaning that those toes pull back towards the knee joint. From here, you can just gently push that knee away from you, feeling that nice stretch in the glute medius, and up in the side of the hip there too. If you feel like you wanted to explore a deeper stretch, that might not be right for you, but just in case you feel like you might benefit from a little more, you can bring that opposite knee in towards the chest. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed and plenty of space around the base of the neck through the shoulders. Again, both hips and glutes trying to settle on the mat here. When you're ready, relax. Both feet back down to the floor, widen the feet, come back to that constructive rest position. Feet wide, knees stacked in the central line. And now just observe those keen differences between one side and the other. We focused a lot on one side, and we haven't done the same for the other yet. We're about to now. Just take a moment with your discerning awareness to breathe and find balance, even still, through both sides of your body. And relax beyond the body. beyond the thinking mind. When you're ready, we'll move to the other side, grabbing that yoga strap to hook the foot. Go ahead and cross that strap over if you want that kind of alternative grip. Again, shoulders relaxed, elbows relaxed. And just go ahead this time with a counterclockwise circle first, opening out to the side, in to out movement, in to out, just about the size of your palm. Go ahead and stretch that foot out to the side if you need to. Quick counter stretch. And bring that foot across, and out to the side. Go ahead and repeat that. Feeling that stretch through opposite sides, inside edge of the leg, outside channels. Next time that your leg passes through center, just hold there, stacking foot right over top of hip. You can go ahead and remove that strap now. Played supportive role in the process here. Then go ahead and bend that knee. Then go ahead and start to make your hip circles again, really settling in that hip and glute. Move on to the next two parts of this hip and hamstring sequence. Right after this, now just enjoy the process, that deep relaxation process that occurs a moment at a time, affirmed by a breath at a time. Conscious choice to relax your awareness into this moment and then to explore your movement and range of motion, support, nourish your physical, mental, emotional well-being in this practice. Just take a moment to rest in gratitude, both feet relaxing here on the ground. You're ready to finish out this other side. We're going to go ahead and again, I like to just have the hands resting right on the back side of the leg there, right above the. And we're just going to go ahead and exhale, straighten that leg, inhale, bend the knee. And continue to do that. Really great range of motion exercise for your knee joint, as a hinge joint needs synovial fluid. So this is really good for telling your body to make that joint juice to keep your knees supple. And as I've already mentioned, it's also great for lengthening and then releasing in the hamstring. Rotate through the ankle and enunciate through the feet and toes. When you're ready, go ahead and cross that leg, making a figure four shape. And make sure that that foot, that grounded foot, is right in alignment with your hip. All right, we don't want it too far out to the side or over across the body. Nice, strong, and straight alignment here from heel to glute and hip to shoulder. Remember, toes stay flexed towards that knee in figure four shape. And you might find your stretch right here. This is a beautiful place to rest and allow. You want a little more of an active approach, you could again grab that opposite knee and draw the knee in, pressing that knee away. You could do this from a seated position in a chair, crossing that foot over the knee and just gently leaning forward. You'll feel that stretch there in the glute and hip. 3 more breaths here. Slow your breath down. Ready, go ahead and uncross the legs, bring both feet back to the floor, step the feet wide, let the knees come in towards each other. Go ahead and open your arms out into a T shape. Relax the shoulder blades back and down. And then go ahead and pull the knees in over the belly, keeping the knees together. If you had to bring a cushion or a pillow or a block in between the knees, you certainly could. We're going to pick the hips up and we're going to drop the knees over to the left. My eye gaze is going to look over this opposite shoulder. It's more important that the shoulders stay on the mat than letting those knees touch the floor. In fact, sometimes I even like to bring a blanket or a cushion or something underneath of those knees. This depends on how my body responds that day. Breathe through your lying down twist. And when you're ready, come back to center. Feet to the floor, recenter the hips, shoulders, and then prepare for the other side. Pick the hips up, knees come over to the right. Head and neck comes back to center first. Take a deep breath in. Ready, exhale. Back to center. Bring the feet to the floor. Recenter the hips, the shoulders. Turn your head and neck side to side. And then bring the hands to rest it on the belly or chest. We're going to transition with our last 5 minutes or so into a savasana and guided relaxation. So take this time to get totally comfortable. Adjust your layers if you need to, or grab a swig of something to drink. Go ahead and adjust your environment in any way you need to with your lighting so that you can be comfortable and relaxed and still. Just go ahead and take this next couple of moments to do that. I'm going to come up into a seated position to facilitate and guide the relaxation in Savasana. Space for that, but I encourage you to really find a comfortable position where you can lie down and rest. So make any other physical adjustments that you need to so that you can relax comfortably. And then let your physical body be completely still. If a brief tense and release practice would suit you and you're familiar with that, you can guide yourself through that now. And all that means is inhaling and tensing, and then exhaling and releasing different muscle groups in the body. So you can experience a very full body relaxation. Otherwise, you can just, if it's within your preferences or where you're at, you can just skip the tense and release and forget the physical body completely and start to move into your breath awareness. Just simply count your breath. Count your breath in, count your breath out. And in the space between each breath, just begin to introduce affirmations that support your well-being and deepen your peace. For example, as you breathe in, you say, I'm okay with being here right now. And as you exhale, you could add in a little affirmation, I feel that all is well. Inhaling, I'm okay with being here right now. Exhaling, all is well. Find any custom affirmation that best suits where you're at and your needs. Get the body, tune into the breath, relax, and receive this opportunity to restore. The lightness and the peace washing over every passing breath. Feel at ease and relaxed wherever you're at. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest, symbolic heart chakra space. And you're welcome to stay resting here as long as you need to. There's no rush to put a punctuation on it. You need more rest. You can stay here as long as it serves you. In a few moments, I'm going to end our guided relaxation process and our class. Because that doesn't mean that you have to stop practicing. You feel there are some other things you need. If you'd like to really deepen this peace and restful state, simply stay where you are. Rest as long as you need to. If you choose to lengthen and elongate your period of rest, keep that sacred awareness of that space in the center of your chest. If you do feel ready to close your practice, you can gently, with some movement, bring your hands to touch in front of the chest again, even if you're lying on your back. And breathe into that space and feel a lightness there. Where there's a darkness, bring in a brightness. Where there's a heaviness, a lightness. And just feel your awareness flood that space and let peace and love come into your heart. Feel that well of gratitude and love that exists in you, that exists in me, that exists in all things that live, being filled up with your awareness, being filled up with your gratitude. Love your life just for right now. All is well. Feel a point of light there in the center of your chest that you're now aware of, growing brighter. The longer we build this quality of presence here and this symbolic awareness of our heart's desires and needs, the more we can bring that into fruition and the more we can share that in our own transformation with our community. Thank you for taking the time to honor this sacred space and this practice. The light in me bows to and honors the light in you. Close this space with namaste. Namaste. Go in peace, joy, whatever comes next. Go in peace. Shanti. Thank you again. Thank you so much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you again at our future deep relaxation classes. Namaste.